Welcome to Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973, an inspirational podcast about the ups and downs of life and everything in between. Here's your host, Shane Lakita.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, friends. Everybody listening to the podcast here. Listen, I know it's been a minute since my last podcast with you guys. I know it's been just a little bit, right? Almost full 2 weeks, 1 day short of 2 weeks worth of time since the last time that I was here with you having a conversation and sitting down and just conversing about stuff, right? But, the way I look at it is this. I need to step away for a little bit. And here's the reason why. I've been doing a lot of really, really important things and a lot of fun things. Well, nothing's really as fun as me sitting on the microphone right here with you and talking to you and having a conversation because, as you all know, it's therapeutic for me and I can sit down and I can really talk things through and discuss life and everything else that goes on. But here's what's been going on, guys. So over the last couple weeks, what I've been doing is I've been doing a pay it forward movement kind of situation. I learned from a friend of mine that I actually came across over on TikTok. Her name is Faith. And what she did was she started this little movement called Kindness Just Because, or KJB. And what she did was basically set up a Venmo account, and she had people send money. She had people send a little cash, $1, 75 cents, 25 cents, whatever it was, over to this Venmo account. And then what she did is she paid it forward to whoever she needed to. So whether it was a server, whether it was a vendor, whether it was a person that was homeless, or whatever it was that she decided at that moment in time that was on her heart to go ahead and pay forward, that's what she did. And it inspired me. It inspired me to do something similar, yet different. So my version of KJB was, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to create avatars. Now, if you don't know what an avatar is an icon or a little emblem or a photo or a cartoon that you can have created with your likeness for any of your social media platforms. So TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of them. And you can use this icon to be able to just kind of show your personality, whatever it is. So whether it's colorful, whether it's little splashes of paint or whatever it is that goes on, you can do this. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to use that skill set that I have that I've learned on my new iPad and all the other things that I'm trying to be able to work with. And I'm also trying to be able to incorporate that art form into it to be able to make somebody else feel better or feel good about themselves and stuff. So I said I wanted to pay it forward using the KJB style of momentum. So what I said to them I said, hey guys, if you want an avatar made of you and you want something done of you in the likeness of you and to make you look in a really, really special light or something that's going to make you look handsome or pretty or whatever else you wanted to be able to put into it, I can create that for you. All I need from you is a donation of $25 or more into my Venmo account. Now, I set this Venmo account up, and basically what it does is people can donate to that pot. And then all that money that I'm going to put together, I'm going to give back to folks in the service industry. Now, many of you know the story that my wife and I have. We both grew up in the service industry. We pretty much came through waiters and waitresses and bartenders and service industry and really grinding it out and going through the tough situation as it was already, where you have people that don't tip very well or people that don't treat you very well or talk down to you and all those different things. And so you go through those kind of things, right? It's kind of part of the game that you have to play to be able to try to put food on your table or to put beer in the fridge or to put, to take care of your family or whatever it is. And we know it's a tough industry. It's difficult. It's not as difficult as some of your hard labor industries or some of your first responder industries, but I will tell you it's very difficult. So here comes COVID and here comes all of these different diseases that are around, and restaurants are shutting down and people aren't going out to spend money and people are strapped for cash and whatever else. And so you don't make money. And so now you've got to try to be able to fend for yourself, to be able to go out and try to be able to make money in the best way that you can in an industry that's not really flourishing right now. So my way of giving back to those folks is not only am I giving an avatar to somebody that wants a icon or an emblem or a symbol for their social media platforms, I'm also giving back that money to pay it forward to those that need it, that have been struggling. So that's my intent, guys. That's what I've been working on for the last couple weeks here. It's been phenomenal. I've got over $3,000 saved up into the Venmo account, which is just incredible. Where some people have given the $25 minimum, and some people have given $100 or even $200 to be able to help the cause and be able to get things moving forward. So that's what I've been up to for the last couple of weeks. But I'm back now, guys. I'm back right here with this podcast right now. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was, just as I was talking about a minute ago with all those servers and all those people that are going through the things that they have to go through, whether they're trying to put food on their table, they got kids that need food, there's medical bills, there's credit card bills, whatever else that comes up. It's all about adversity, right? And it's all about overcoming adversity and how you can really navigate life and being able to be faced with things that are looking at you, staring down a barrel. You're looking at it going, wow, my life is really difficult right now. And on top of the regular things that you go through in life, whether it's health related, whether it's medical, whether it's financial or whatever, on top of all those things that are going on in our lives and all those things that are happening in general, we got things like COVID, we got things like quarantines, we got things like unemployment. We got all these other items that we have going on right now outside of just those normal things that are happening. And then we have 2 hurricanes coming through. We got a devastating one hitting the coast right now, down in the Gulf right now. We got all these different things going on, including an election that's coming up. We got all this different, it's noisy, guys. It's upside down. The world is literally flipping upside down right now. You got weather-related stuff, you got social-related stuff, you got all these things that are happening in life. And on top of all the things that we're already going through and the things that we have to dive into and the things that we have to go through, these things are just layered right on top of it. It's literally like it's like a powder keg almost. And wildfires out west, hurricanes, tornadoes, all kinds of stuff going on, which, listen, I'm not going to just maybe fabricate it into something bigger than what it is, because a lot of times there are other years that there are bad things that happen as well. But the point of it is that it's all adversity. It's all adversity that's thrown our way. So we all have adversity that comes our way in every form. So maybe you have adversity that comes your way, like I said earlier, with financial woes or different stuff that comes your way. But think about it, guys. What is the adversity that's thrown your way every single day? Okay. So first thing you have to do is you have to maybe quantify what that adversity is. What does it look like in your life that you have that's going on that you're faced with every single day? Because a lot of times what we do is we just wing it. Right? We just wing it. Basically, whatever's going on in our lives, we go down the road and we just kind of go, okay, you know what? Whatever's thrown my way, I'm just going to kind of go with the flow or try to be able to deal with it or however you are in your own space of being able to deal with the issue. That's what you do. You wing it. But if you can start to take a look at what that adversity is and take a look at what the consistency in that adversity is, and then start to prepare to be able to overcome that adversity, is something different than anything else. How can you be prepared for something that's coming your way, even though you don't know what that thing is sometimes, right? So what it is it's a mental state. I have to prepare myself mentally to know that not everything is unicorns and rainbows. I have to prepare myself mentally to know that I'm going to have stuff happen today that I don't like or that is not conducive towards my goals and my aspirations and my life and all that stuff. I have to prepare myself mentally in the beginning, in the morning, to know that my day is going to be amazing and I'm going to make it amazing, and I'm going to use words like I will and I can and all those things. And I'm not going to use words like I hope so or maybe sort ofs. I understand all that, and that's literally the space that I play in. But I also know that I have to have a plan B and a plan C in my pocket to know that when adversity does come, because, guys, it will come, how do I respond to the adversity? How do I go around it? How do I get through it? How do I do all the things that I have to do to continue to stay on the path that I need to stay on and the goals that I want to achieve and the things that I want to do in life, and still do those things and know that life is going to deal a bad set of cards? Life's going to throw bricks at my head. Life is going to throw beanbags at my forehead, whatever it is. Think about it, guys. We go through adversity all our lives. And adversity sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, I always talk about how we grow from adversity, we become stronger, which I will talk about in a minute because I think that that's really important to discuss and elaborate on. But at the end of the day, it really just sucks. Adversity is just, listen, nobody wants it. Nobody craves it. Nobody likes it. You may look at it and say, I can overcome this and I'm a champion and I can do everything I need to do. But at the end of the day, it still sucks. Adversity is not fun, but adversity is part of life. The adverse situations that we go through are going to happen no matter what. The cycle that we go through every single day is still going to happen one step in front of the next. If you're trying to achieve your goals, you're trying to get to a common goal or a common interest or a common thing that you want to be able to get to, or a life goal or a professional goal or whatever kind of goal that you're trying to shoot for, adversity will come. Book it, guys. It's going to happen. You know it. Anybody that's lived this life more than 10 years on this life, you know adversity happens. It happens right from day one. I mean, we come out of the womb, we're pretty much breathing water, right? We got a water in our lungs, and adversity is, what is happening right now? I'm breathing air right now. I got to be able to try to survive in this situation where I was just in this nice warm, place that I was, and now I'm out in this area where it's freezing cold. I'm breathing air. That's adversity. We don't know what to think of it. We're trying to adjust and pivot and go, what the hell's happening right now? I don't understand this, right? So when you think about it, all these things that we've gone through all our lives, ever since we've been first born, is all adversity. And these are all pretty common things that we have to go through left and right all the time, over and over again. The story is always the same. The story always comes up, the fact that you're trying to be able to do great things, you're trying to be able to move forward, you're trying to live life, you're trying to be able to just put one foot in front of the other, and then adversity comes your way, and then it kind of knocks you back, and then you have to figure out how to be able to overcome, or it knocks you down where you can't overcome sometimes, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I know we want to be able to give ourselves the credit to be able to have the mental fortitude to be able to overcome anything, but sometimes you have to navigate around it rather than navigate through it. And that's kind of what we're faced with sometimes. Is the obstacle or adversity that we're trying to overcome something that is actually overcomable and something that we can actually go through it to be able to attack it, to get in front of it, to be able to move forward? So when I say earlier that you have to take inventory of where you're at with things, to know and expect that you're going to have adversity come your way, that's really super important in this journey. We have to understand the dynamic of what path we're walking. Because even if we're trying to lose weight, or we're trying to be healthy, or we're trying to be financially secure, have a good job, all those things, if we're not prepared for the adversity that's going to come our way, or at least prepare ourselves mentally that something will come, we're going to fail a lot of times. I'll tell you a story. So for me, it happens with weight loss for me. I go down the road of trying to lose weight. I've been a big guy all my life. All my life, I've been just a big dude. And so I've always gone through these struggles where I gain weight and then I try to lose weight and then I gain weight and then I try to lose weight ever since high school, ever since childhood, to be honest with you, because, we pictured food as being something of love or adoration or something that was there. It was a good thing. You ate food. You had big meals. You gorged on stuff to be able to make yourself feel good. And you're like, this is amazing. And it wasn't necessarily meant to be something bad or a mental thing. It was more just the fact that you showered people with love with food, right? So all my life, I've struggled with the fact that I've been a big guy. Even in the military, in the days in the military when I was bigger, and then I had to try to lose weight to try to make weight, or, the physical tests that I had to go through, all the stuff, all my life, the whole life that I've had. And it's been an adverse situation for me most of my life because I've struggled with it. But here's the thing. What happened was, a lot of times, is adversity, whatever situation that came around, whatever situation arose at whatever time that it did, I literally was faced with whatever it was faced with, and it knocked me for a loop every single time. So the adverse situation, I wasn't prepared because I was in the zone, right? I'm working out, or I've got my diet going, and I'm ready to go, and I'm all set, and I'm plugging away, and I'm doing everything I have to do. And then all of a sudden, wham, something big happens in my life. And it causes me to step back and feel stress and feel pain and feel emotions and feel upset about things. And then I start to derail a little bit, and I start to eat poorly or not work out or go into depression or those kind of things. And I start to reel a little bit and whatever it is. So the story really is that this has been cyclical all my life. So now in this later part of my journey, I'm preparing myself mentally to know that these types of things are going to happen. And I have to ask myself the question, am I prepared for it? And I have to ask myself the question, what is it that's going to come my way? And how can I be prepared for it when it does come? I say take inventory because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what happens with death in the family. You don't know what happens with illnesses. You don't know what happens with COVIDs and hurricanes and all these things that I was talking about. You don't know what's going to happen at those kind of times, but you can be prepared for when it does. You can put on your armor and you can literally get yourself ready for anything that's going to come your way, all the while still trying to truck down the road of achieving your goals. You can't let it stop you. You can't let it get in the way of the things you aspire to be. You can't let it get in the way of the things that you want to do in life. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to be able to accomplish, aren't we? Don't you want to be a good parent? Don't you want to be financially secure? Don't you want to be somebody that's lost weight or losing weight or a marathon runner or whatever it is that you're setting goals for? Whatever you have on your aspirations and your goal board and the things that you want to be able to achieve and accomplish should not take a back seat for the fact that you have adversity in front of you or you have adversity that's come your way. When my dad died a year ago, I made sure that I still continued to stay focused on some of my exercise goals while my dad was passing away. Now, that may seem morbid, and that may seem like I don't have my priorities straight, but I do have my priorities straight because I need to make sure that I'm tending to me to make sure that I can then be there to tend to others if I need to. So I knew that I couldn't take my eye off the prize when he was ill and we were down there on his last days to make sure that I know that it's adverse and it's heavy. It was such a heavy situation, right? Everybody's emotional. Everybody's down in the dumps. Everybody feels really like, oh man, we're down to hours. We're counting hours at that moment in time. But I still continued to push forward with some of my personal goals because I knew that that was important to me to make sure that I can outfit myself with the ability to be able to help others along the way as we're all going through it together. I knew that that was going to be an adverse situation. I knew that that situation was going to arise. So I prepared myself mentally for the fact that what are my goals that I want to be able to accomplish? Maybe they're bite-sized then. Maybe they're not as big as what they were. Maybe I'm not running 5 miles or 4 miles. Maybe now I'm only going for a walk of about a mile or half a mile or whatever it is that I have to do to continue to push forward with my goals and my aspirations to stay focused on me and continue to move forward. All the while going through the things that I have to go through. And to be quite honest with you, a lot of the things that we're doing for our goals and our aspirations, if they are health related or if they are mental acuity or whatever it is that you're trying to be able to work on, are usually for the good of us, right? We're trying to be able to be better, be the best versions of us, keep moving forward, lose weight, be healthy, be sharper or whatever else. So they're not a bad thing that we're trying to work on. And during those adverse times and those times where we're faced with all kinds of crazy stuff that's coming our way, if you're focused on those things, you're only bettering yourself and continuing to prepare yourself to be ready for whatever's going to come your way. So the first thing I say is be ready for it, prepare yourself for it, and know that it's coming. Almost like you're aware of whatever situation that's arising, you're prepared for. Okay? What happens, like I said earlier, is that when adversity comes, we respond to it in a way that we weren't ready for it. So if it's thrown at you, you're literally walking around going, oh my goodness, I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know that that was going to happen. I didn't know that Father Time comes around and death happens in life. Well, it does. And we know that. And we know that these types of situations do come around. And when you hit around my age, around your mid-40s to your 50s, you know that those around you, those loved ones around you, are these types of things happen, and you have to be prepared for those kind of things. And like I said, I don't want to sound morbid about it, but I want to make sure that we are ready for things that are thrown our way. And some things you can't necessarily be completely ready for, and I get it. And some things will knock you down, and it's okay not to be okay. We've said that many times on this podcast. It's okay to feel that range of emotions. It's okay to be emotional about things. It's okay to feel devastated. It's okay to feel all those things. This is part of life. My point is, how will you get through it? Now, here's the second part of it, okay? First part of it, be ready, because it's coming. Second part is, be armed. What does that mean? Be armed means have things in your pocket that are ready to go to help you get through the situations. Here's a couple tips for you. These are things that work for me. If you journal, write down your thoughts of the things that you're going through. Write down the thoughts of all the adverse situations that you've experienced in the past however long. Writing down how it felt and where you were at with each one of those situations. How you got through them and how you've been able to navigate through them and what time period that it usually took to be able to get there, right? Start to journal. Start to write down some of these things during the process and then try to remember back on things that you had in the past. A lot of times it's hard to remember those because we just navigated through it and just responded. But journal it out. If it's on paper, it's on purpose. How did I respond? How did I feel? Where was I at with it? What did I do to be able to get through it? Number 2, in your pocket, you need to have outlets and resources. So when adversity comes your way, just like when they say you're going to have a storm plan, if a hurricane's coming through or a tornado's coming through or whatever it is, you got to have a plan for when the storm comes because you never know when it's going to come, but you got to be prepared. So whether it's an evacuation plan, whether it's a tornado bunker plan, whatever it is, you always have to have a plan. This is the same thing with life, guys. You have to have a plan in place for you to be able to sit back and say, when adversity comes my way, when an adverse situation is faced right in front of me, what am I going to do and who do I have at my disposal to be able to help me get through the things that I have to get through? True people that are going to be there for me and not run for the hills once adversities or once adverse situations happen. Now, we all don't have those in our disposal. Some people are lonely. Some people are, live by themselves and they don't have that kind of things that are going on. What I would say is start to build that now for yourself. If you got to go on social media, you got to go on my webpage called No Finish Line Nation and find yourself a tribe and find people that are there for us to be able to get together, to find people that are in your corner that will root for you during those times and be able to help you during those times and give you advice during those times of whenever you need it. However it goes, find your tribe, find your tools and your resources for you to be ready for when it does happen. That's another way. In your pocket, in your left and your right pocket, you got to have people and tools and resources for you to be able to do so. So if you journal it out and now you're being able to prepare yourself mentally for what it looks like and how you can navigate through it is a great thing. Then if you have people that you can actually reach out to have a conversation with, to discuss things with, to say, life just sucks right now and I need somebody to just have an ear for me. Or I need some advice here. I haven't been through this portion of my journey before. Have you, or do you know anybody that has, or whatever? Thirdly, don't be afraid to go get help. Don't be afraid to go to a psychologist or a therapist or somebody to be able to actually professionally talk to about the things that we're going through, because life is difficult sometimes. And if you don't have the mental capacity to be able to overcome it or plow through it, like I said before, you may need help getting there. You may need somebody to be able to say, hey, listen, let me hear you and let me help you. Right? It's okay to go and get help. It's okay to ask for some assistance. It's okay to ask for a hand to be able to be lent, to be able to get through the adversity that you're getting through. I say that more so because people and the pride's kicking and we're sitting around going, well, I feel less of a man or I feel less of a woman if I ask for help all the time, or if I'm digging in to be able to try to get some assistance all the time, or whatever it is, right? We feel less than what we are because we want to be strong and we want to be the almighty and ready to go. Let's go. Let's get things all done and let's do what we have to do. And we're a champion and we're going to be able to plow through whatever we can and let's go. Well, no, sometimes we're not there. And sometimes we need the professional help that we need to be able to say, wow, I need some help here. But it's okay to do that. And I say that because I want to let you know that that's my journey. My journey is, if it wasn't for the people that I'm surrounded by during the most difficult times of my life sometimes, that were there to support me and lift me up, I would not be successful. I would not be where I am today. I would not be here because I wouldn't have the support that I have to do the things that I do. It's not easy as a wife to me to be able to sit back and go, he's on social media all the time. He's doing avatars. He's doing TikToks. He's doing Instagram. He's doing all this different stuff, along with being a dad, along with being a husband, along with working a full-time job. It's not easy. He goes live all the time. He does all these different things. It's not easy to be supportive of that. But I know I need those people in my corner to continue to move forward in the space that I want to move in, to make an impact, to make a positive impact in the world. And this is something that I've got to do because I feel it's my calling and what I need to do, right? But I need support like that. So either you have to find that support or go down the avenue of being your number one supporter. If you're alone and you don't have anybody to be able to be in your corner, or people are negative or against you, become your own biggest cheerleader. Become the person that reads your journal entry and goes, you're amazing and you're awesome. And start giving yourself the positive affirmations that you should be giving yourself. And being your number one cheerleader, to look at yourself in the mirror and say, listen, I know I've been through some adverse situations, and I know life's going to stink at certain points today. But I'm my own champion, and I know that I'm doing this for a reason, and I'm going to be amazing at what I'm doing. Be your best cheerleader, your number one person. Be that pocket person that you've got at your disposal to be effective and be able to work with things. Guys, this is all so important in our journeys because adversity is going to come. Be ready for the adversity. Arm yourself for the adversity. And be ready to be able to take on whatever it is that's thrown your way for you to be the champion that you deserve to be. We all do. We all deserve to be successful. We all deserve to be champions. We all deserve to receive things and feel the goods that's going on out there and not always the bads. Let's do it together, guys. All of us. You deserve it. I deserve it. We all deserve it together. Have a great day, everybody, and let's talk soon.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. Please do us a favor and leave feedback and a 5-star rating on whatever platform that you use.